Drive us.
How? I can't just drive us. There's no keys. Okay, I can just drive us.
People on Twitter talk about of how much Knuckles was kind of like very mixed reviews. Some people hating it, some people sort of liking it, and some people coming out like as they like it or if they don't. For me, in my opinion, I'll tell you that when going into the show, I was very excited. I waited every day until it was Friday, went on Paramount Plus to see all the episodes, watched it in one sitting, and then after I finished it, I came out rather confused because on one hand, I didn't like some of the stuff they did, but on the other hand, I came out liking some stuff that they did, and that mainly because of the fact that about Knuckles and really Paramount's priorities with humans in the Sonic franchise and just Sonic in general. Because when I first watched it, I came out unpleased because Knuckles was the main focus. Yeah, there was some stuff that mainly focused the humans, as in Wade and the other people, and not Knuckles. Because at first I was unpleased, like I said, but then I got bored and then went back to rewatch all the episodes, and I don't know what happened, but after just rewatching again, because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fast forward most stuff with the humans because I just wanted to see with Knuckles. That one being one main episode, we'll get back to that later. And when I rewatched it, I actually liked all the stuff they did. Like in episode 2, I like Wade's fantasy segments of him trying to save Knuckles. Him holding Knuckles when he was running just looks funny because it looks like Knuckles is lifeless, and it was really funny. Rather just rewatching the episodes, I do appreciate the humans more in it, especially Wade. But his sister, on the other hand, I don't know what they were thinking. I know it's a comedy and all, but his sister was annoying. I did not like her at all. I don't even want to know how they did a CGI on her broken thumb. Jesus Christ.
Where do I put the quarter? Smart move, genius. You just broke into a house full of cops. You want to give up now, or you want me to give you about 14 seconds?
His sister was just annoying. I did not like her character at all. Knuckles, on the other hand, always love it. I just love movie Knuckles' character a lot. And this basically reminds me of that one Sonic X episode when it has Knuckles working with some human. I forgot the guy's name in that one though. And plus, not to mention, Knuckles is basically just the first Sonic Hedgehog movie, but instead of Sonic and Tom, it's Knuckles and Wade. And I like their relationship a lot more better. I heard that there were some people saying that they rub off good on each other with their characters and their relationship, but I definitely beg to differ on that. Because it has Knuckles not knowing what to do after finally securing the Master Emerald, and then because of Pachacamac. Also, speaking of his character, I love his character in the show as well. He's funny. It was thanks to him that's why Knuckles went to Wade in the first place. And because obviously, as the episodes go on, Knuckles went from not really trusting Wade in the slightest, well, not really in the slightest, but as the show goes on, he genuinely likes being around him. As like for episode 2 at the end, when it has them trying to get some, when it has them eating some food after Wade rescues Knuckles. Knuckles asks why he stays in Green Hill, and Wade responds with, "It's just his home, and that's why he stays."
I guess Green Hills has always just been home. I mean, there must be some place in the universe that's like that for you, right?
Since the loss of my tribe, I have journeyed across every corner of the galaxy. Seen planets and stars you could only dream of. But nowhere I have called home.
That must be tough for you.
Yes.
Well, overall, it's just a nice scene between the two. I don't get why people said that their relationship isn't really good, even though obviously that shows it. Or like in episode 5 when it clearly shows that Wade is obviously feels guilty about deceiving Knuckles just so he could save his mom and his sister from the gun agents that are trying to kill them. Because clearly he obviously has built a bond with them at this point, and he doesn't want to ruin it, which is nice. And because obviously due to the fact that everyone thinks that Wade's a joke, except Knuckles as the show goes on and progresses. like also at the end of episode 2 when it has him and Knuckles jamming out to some music he's playing on a radio. And as for the villains, at first I'm not even sure if they said this, I probably just didn't know, but I didn't even know that these were gun agents at first, that being Agent Mason and Agent Willow. I do not know how to pronounce it. I'm just gonna say Agent Willow. Really, their goal in the show was to kidnap Knuckles just so they could sell him for money, which it's a comedy, so obviously nothing too serious. I do question of how they managed to actually get his quills and use it in tech. I'm not sure how they did that. Nor did I actually know how they used, even literally got rings in the first place. I did think it was actually clever of how they put the rings in the gun and then you shoot the rings instead of throwing them. And the fight scenes, I love all the Knuckles fight scenes. They're great. Not to mention the effects and the CGI was really good in the show. And I really hope this is just as good as they're going to do it in Sonic the Hedgehog 3 when it comes out. Especially the fact that they're going to go entirely based off of Adventure 2. I wonder how they're going to do the arc. That's going to be cool. And another character being Wade's mom. She shows in episode 3 and in one scene it has her talking to Knuckles about the fact that her kids, that being Wade and his sister, don't show up home as much anymore. And it was just a nice, heartwarming scene because she was talking to Knuckles about that they barely show for a traditional dinner with family, and that was thanks to Knuckles for bringing them together. It was a really nice scene. Because I even got one comment saying that the show was kind of boring, but there are scenes that you can like, that are like for comedic reasons, and that there are just scenes that are meant to be heartwarming scenes. Like I said, with Knuckles talking to Wade about his past and his childhood, and Knuckles talking to his mom about their family traditions, and that because of him that they actually came together back as a family. I did want to also mention the dad, about him being some professional bowling champion, but I'm not sure if I would really feel it because the fact that I watched it twice, he doesn't really show often. I'm pretty sure he just shows like the last few episodes of the show. Also, I just want to point out the fact that when Knuckles and Wade come to his mom's house, why did his sister have to body check Knuckles? Was it because he's black? I mean, it's not like he was carrying anything. Now, episode 4 is the main thing that I've seen people say, like, that being the worst episode. You know what I'm saying? As if I was one of these people until I rewatched it. And it's actually a good episode because it basically shows of what Wade can do without the help of Knuckles around him all the time. Which is like the same thing from episode 2 when he has to save Knuckles. And because Patrick comes back, I just love his character in the show. And both it's great because he's doing a Sonic character we see. I do wonder why we don't see Azakal Ghost, because he's a ghost in this. But basically what happens, he takes him on a fever dream of Wade in the position of Knuckles, acting out his whole backstory. Why is Iblis here? And it teaches him about the flames of disaster. Silver, where are you at this point?
Just do that.
I'm actually.
And talk about the other villain, the Buyer. It basically that the Buyer is, he doesn't have an actual name. He apparently worked for Dr. Robotnik in this time, but then apparently he left to pursue his own whatever he wants. He mainly just wants to kidnap Knuckles, just take Knuckles' power, use it to charge up his Dr. Octopus looking machine. And then I do enjoy at the end of that the fact that they did one of those things when they jump up in the air with their freeze frame. I can't even lie, when I first saw that, I thought that was the funniest shit of the show, and that was really funny. So when I first watched it, came out disappointed, but after watching it for the second time, I just love the show, I can't even lie. Plus it's way better than what Sonic 3, Sonic Prime Season 3 was. They had stuff that dragged out for way too long, while Knuckles has the base, the start, middle, and the end, and overall it's just a great show in my opinion.
Feel its power course through your ginormous hands. Take aim at your pins.
Not to mention, I did hear some people saying that Velma was better than the show. And dare I say, But for Knuckles, don't pay attention to what other people say, because really, that's kind of really the reason why I was negative in the first place. Because that's when I found out that Knuckles was apparently barely going to show up his own show, because of some article on Twitter. But really, that really isn't the case when you compare it to like the Sonic movies. Like in the first one, there are some scenes when Sonic isn't on the screen. And like I said, for Sonic 2, the wedding scene. So it really isn't anything different of how the other Sonic movies are compared to Knuckles not showing and with the cast of humans. Because when you compare it to how much he shows compared to the other movies, he shows up frequently because obviously it's a show. He's obviously got a show a lot. And again, he was everywhere. He was at WWE and Coachella. I just love the mascot outfit. The head just looks funny if I scrunch up his face close. But in conclusion, just see the show if you want. You can have your own opinions on it, which I do see and agree with some stuff about it. Obviously, that mainly being his sister. Most people on Twitter hates the show, but I love it.
Hey Knuckles! How about some new road trip music? I call this mix Knuckles and Wade Warrior Jammers.
What is this amazing song? Could this be? Yes! This is I Jam!
Here I come, rougher than the rest of them, the best of them, tougher than leather. You can call me Knuckles, unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles, I'm hard as nails, it ain't hard to tell. I break them down whether they solid or frail. Unlike the rest, I'm independent since my first breath. First test, feel the right, then the worst left. Born on and